Welcome to this video here on CM42 TV, and over the next couple of days I have a mission that I want to do, and it has been tricky for me this year to try and rank my favourite wrestling matches into certain categories because there's been so much, and 2017 has definitely been the biggest year for me in terms of watching films and listening to new music. That is all blown out of the feckin' water for the amount of wrestling I've watched this year. I'm pretty bad when it comes to watching wrestling, bad in a good way, where I watch far too much and I try to watch everything, it's become apparent in 2017 that that's not going to feckin' happen anytime soon. You can't watch everything, every WWE thing, plus ROH, plus Impact, plus anything else you want to watch. For being such a big movie fan and a big TV fan and a big podcast fan and things like that, you know, I have to set aside, some time aside to do those things because wrestling just takes over everything. Trying to cram everything wrestling into the one sort of week or day or month is almost impossible in 2017, and we are absolutely spoiled for choice as wrestling fans in 2017. It's almost I kind of want to make a whole video and a whole podcast about that topic. The amount of on-demand sites and the amount of TV channels that it's on, and the accessibility of YouTube now. You can just watch any wrestling match ever almost on YouTube. Highlights, entrance music, anything you want on all these platforms that people back 20 years ago would absolutely kill for, and I'm not even exaggerating there. My point being, it's been very hard to narrow down my favourite matches of the year, and what I normally do is, because I know I'm going to watch so much wrestling throughout the year, I always keep a note throughout the year. I keep all these sort of charts and tables on a Word document of all the different companies and things. I've done ones for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, got ICW there, and I've got Impact there, and I've got all other stuff, like just combine ROH in Japan and all that nonsense, because it's just so much to do. So, I was looking at my tables the other day because I was updating it. I was adding the Hell in a Cell matches to my WWE list, and I was looking at the miscellaneous table, and it had the New Japan stuff in there, and I've got all three Omega versus Okada matches on there in a particular order that I'm not going to review right now. I don't know if that's the order I want them in. It happens all the time when, like two people have multiple really good matches, and I tend just to pick the one, unless they're really different. An example this year I can think of right now is the Usos and the New Day. They've had so many good matches this year. So I want to put on one of the just regular tag matches, but then I also want to put the Hell in a Cell in because it was so different. But like in 2016, I couldn't put both John Cena and AJ Styles matches on from Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. I just had to pick one because they were both really similar but both awesome. This year, how can you leave out one of the Omega Okada matches, because all three were classics? We've got the Wrestle Kingdom one, which I'm about to watch, we've got the 60-minute draw, and we've got the one at the G1. I'm going to try over the next couple of days to rewatch those matches, because they are. Kenny Omega is definitely Wrestler of the Year, probably, of 2017. Is there anything that man can't do? I don't think so. And then if you take out Okada from the mix, you put in his match against Naito from the G1 this year, the finals, which is one of the best matches of the year. Over the next few days, I'm going to keep a note, and I'm going to vlog this, my diary of watching back Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada from Wrestle Kingdom, the 60-minute draw out Dominion, I think it's called, and the G1 Climax, the semi-finals, which I loved, by the way, that it wasn't the finals, it was a sort of twist sort of thing. In terms of New Japan stuff, I'm not the biggest watcher. I'll watch the big shows throughout the year. I'll always watch the G1. I'll always watch Wrestle Kingdom. But I've got the Wrestle Kingdom one on the screen right now, and we're about to check it out from their very first meeting. I don't know if it's their first meeting ever, but the first of this 2017 trilogy. Here we go. Wrestle Kingdom 11. My second time watching this. Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. I'm definitely mispronouncing his first name, but it's Japanese. I'm not very good at that. Okada Omega 1 at Wrestle Kingdom. Let's do it. Whew. Welcome back, everybody. It's nearly 3 in the morning, and that's okay because I'm a wrestling fan and I'm used to watching wrestling matches at this time of night. You lucky Americans who get to stay up late to 11 PM for pay-per-views. WrestleMania must be a pain in the ass. So I just watched the Wrestle Kingdom match between Okada and Omega, the first of their 2017 trilogy, and that match is just incredible, isn't it? It's just a feckin' classic. It is a great trailer for non-New Japan wrestling fans who have never watched New Japan Pro Wrestling. As I said before, I'm not the biggest New Japan fan, and that is simply because of accessibility. But now in the new age, there's a New Japan World website, which I'm not a member of, that I'd love to and look into and consider. I'm just a member of so many different wrestling on demand sites right now. It's like, what do you pick? You know what I mean? Because there's the fight stuff, and then there's the WWE network, and then there's the ICW on demand. If you can find a way to watch it, and I think every die-hard wrestling fan who just wants to watch great wrestling finds their way somehow, whether it's illegally or finding a stream or finding it somewhere on YouTube or on Dailymotion or on Vimeo or somewhere on some website somewhere, or it's buying the DVD or buying the pay-per-view like you're supposed to do. If you can find this match from Wrestle Kingdom 11, the main event for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, you can even just watch fucking highlights on YouTube. I'm sure there's lots of highlights on YouTube, and it really is just, it's emotionally draining watching matches like this. I'll just say it now, I wasn't going to tell you this, but I might as well say it. After watching them for the first time, my order of my favourite ones is from the G1 being at the top of the list, being my favourite one, from the G1 Climax was my favourite match that they had out of the trilogy, followed by the Wrestle Kingdom match, followed by the 60-minute draw. But then you watch the Wrestle Kingdom one and it's like, how can you top that? But I remember the others, you know, the G1 definitely topping it. And another issue I have with this sort of match is that it happens and then people start losing their feckin' minds. It's the greatest match ever, and I can't deal with that. Do you know what I mean? I just don't like jumping on the same bandwagon, saying the same things, doing the same review as everybody else. But then you watch it and it is just feckin' incredible. And it's not the greatest match of all time, but people say it. You know, it's going to be a tough one to follow in terms of best match of 2017, and this will be at the top of a lot of people's lists. But people who like longer matches are going to go with the Dominion match, and people who like shorter matches are going to go towards the G1 match, and I think that's why I've went towards the G1 matches. The Wrestle Kingdom one was about 40 minutes, I think, 45 minutes. So at the time when this match came out and people were already making the top 10 list, this is definitely number one, and I hate that. You need to wait to December because you have no idea. Wrestling is so, you know, you have no idea what you're going to get with wrestling from any company. I don't care if it's WWE or whatever. WWE have pulled out of the bag enough times to sort of get the argument that they could produce a better match. But wow, it is incredible, that match, and you owe it to yourself as a wrestling fan to watch this Wrestle Kingdom main event from Wrestle Kingdom 11. And next we're going to move on to the Dominion 60-minute time limit, but I'm going to go to bed because it's very late. But 60-minute matches are pretty, not difficult to sit through, but it's definitely a shift. It's like you can watch 2 episodes of a sitcom or a full episode of a TV series or almost a full movie in this time. But it's kind of worth it when it's for something like this, and then for the spectacle that is these two wrestlers with the most amazing chemistry in the world. Amazing match, just incredible. It's very hard to top this, but in my opinion, from my memory, the G1 match topped this. Will it top this on the rewatch? I say it all the time, the second watch is always the one where you can make your final decision because you already know it's good. You don't need to worry about having to pay attention and stuff. Yeah, bedtime. Wrestle Kingdom 11 main event is feckin' incredible. Let's see what happens in Dominion, because I don't know.
Okay, hello everybody. It is a couple of days later from the last clip there, and this afternoon I was on babysit duty. I wasn't sitting on any babies, that would be weird. But I was being a good big cousin, and I was watching my baby cousin. He was running about mental, going a bit crazy. He's a bit insane. So while he was running about and stuff like that, I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on Omega Okada 2, just to have on in the background. And I was thinking, do I want to just have it on in the background? Because you watch matches like that all the time, and you sometimes miss things, or you're not really focused on it. But then I remembered it was the 1 hour draw, and I was thinking it'll make it fly by dead quick watching it in the background while I'm busy doing something else, I suppose. So some bits obviously I got to watch in great detail, and some bits maybe I missed, but not really. I was always watching and kind of half paying attention anyway. So it is just fucking incredible. My biggest thing from that match, the Dominion match from Dominion in Osaka from June 2017. This is their second encounter of the trilogy. The pacing of this match is just fucking bonkers, isn't it? Like how it's surreal to me how they can wrestle at that pace for 60 minutes. So it's a 60-minute draw, and I knew this obviously. I've seen this match before, but I feel like maybe it's because there's been 3 of them, and I'm getting them mixed up. But I'd hardly remembered anything in this match. Maybe I was severely intoxicated, or maybe I was just very sleepy when I watched this the first time. But lots of things I was like, what? Because I was like, am I watching the right match here? Because the pacing they were going at 30 minutes in, they're both fucking drenched in sweat. They're both about to pass out, but they've still got another half an hour to go. And I was thinking, surely not at this pace and this full pelt, full speed ahead sort of thing. But I don't know why I was questioning, because they're Omega and Okada, 2 of the best wrestlers on the planet. And the weird thing is, the second half an hour absolutely flew by, and I was thinking, geez, we're only half an hour, I'm spent watching it because it's so intense. Now, Iron Man matches that have been 60 minutes, like Brett and Shawn from WrestleMania 12, almost said 25, from WrestleMania 12, it's a little bit boring at some parts. because it's quite slow, and like for 10 minutes they'll do a rest hold, to sort of rest for 10 minutes of the 60 minutes because they know they're going to wrestle for 60 minutes. And clearly Omega and Okada knew they were going to be wrestling for 60 minutes. But there's no resting. The only resting they have is when they're selling. And it is, to be fair, they're selling a lot, but that's good, But, I mean, it's like their Wrestle Kingdom match, full speed, full pelt, but an extra 15 minutes. And there's no winner. And obviously watching it now, knowing there's no winner, you watch it with a different sort of mindset, don't you? You're kind of like, okay, well, you know where the false finishes are going to be, and you know that they're not going to win. My issue with the whole star system that's been going on, I say it's been going on for decades now, but the whole Wrestling Observer thing, Dave Meltzer and stuff, they've rated this match 6.25 stars. Obviously it's 5 stars is your limit, or it has been your limit for a while. The Wrestle Kingdom one got 6 stars, and this one gets 6.25. I stopped the whole rating system ages ago. At the end of the year of 2016, because I kept a note of every movie I watched in 2016 and I gave it a rating. And I didn't like it because it's like how when you're making your top 10 and stuff like that and you're kind of deciding which one you like better, and you give a comedy 10 out of 10 or 5 stars, and then you give a horror 10 out of 10 or 5 stars, then you need to pick which one was better out of that when they're both being rated the same thing but they're both completely different. I don't like it, so I've stopped it completely, even with like wrestling matches. So it's like, how do you choose which one's better between the Dominion match and the Wrestle Kingdom match? Well, Dominion's longer, but maybe Wrestle Kingdom was more dramatic because it was the first one. Another example was like Michaels and Taker from WrestleMania 25. Like, how do you differentiate between that one and WrestleMania 26? I have my favourite because I just prefer 25, but that's just because I prefer it. There's no particular reason why, So these ones are hard, and especially because there's 3 of them. And if I'm making a list of top 10 sort of New Japan and independent miscellaneous matches, how are you supposed to differentiate between these 3? How do you rank them if they're both, all 3 of them are just fucking incredible matches? But do you rate them 6 stars, or is that too far? Because then, one, the expectation's too high, and then like the casual wrestling fan is expecting, Taker Michaels, because Taker Michaels WrestleMania 25, in my opinion, is the greatest match of all time. And I am a pretty clued up wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan for a long, long time. So it's like you see WrestleMania 25, Michaels and Taker, and you're like, that is a perfect match. That is 5 stars. There's no question about it. Rock and Austin, Punk and Cena, 5-star matches. And then do you put Omega and Okada in that sort of same thing? And I'm sure to a lot of people you can, especially Wrestle Kingdom, because it was the first one, and that's got Wrestle Kingdom's like that WrestleMania feel. So you kind of get that sort of big match fight sort of feel thing. Dominion is just number 2. It's not any better than the Wrestle Kingdom one just because it's a bit longer. But then again, is Wrestle Kingdom 5 stars? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's very subjective. You need to really be in the right mood to rank these things. And of course, when I'm looking for a 5-star match, I'm looking for the build-up, and I'm looking for the crowd, and I'm looking for the commentary, and I'm looking for the storytelling, and I'm looking for the wrestling, and I'm looking for all this. And the Omega Okada matches have some of this stuff, but not all, So you can't really compare it to other matches that do have all those things. Before I started this whole video thing and rewatching all 3 of the matches, my favourite was the G1 match, the 3rd one, which is coming next. But right now I'm thinking Wrestle Kingdom's surely going to be my favourite because it's the WrestleMania style thing. It has the build-up, it has the crowd buzz, it has the internet fucking up at different times of the night or wherever they live, to watch it live. You have the big stadium and you have the big fight feel, and more's on the line, I suppose, because it's the first one. But then again, because the G1 semi-final was my favourite one because it was shorter, is my opinion going to be changed when I watch this? I don't know. It's exciting. I have to go watch it. I don't know if I'm going to watch it tonight or wait till tomorrow, because I kind of wanted to wait just so I know they're different and I can tell the difference. But the Dominion 60-minute match is fucking incredible. How do they go for 60 minutes at that pace? I'll never know. But I'm looking forward to rewatching this G1 semi-final match because it was my favourite when I first watched them. So will it counter now? So right now, my favourite is Wrestle Kingdom. I think that one is better than the 60-minute one, just maybe because there's more on the line and it's Wrestle Kingdom, So let's do it. Let's watch the G1 semi-final match, Omega Okada 3, and I'll report back.
Alright. Hello everybody. It is indeed decision-making time. I feel like the X Factor. I'm going to put folk through and take... No, it's not true at all. I hate the X Factor. I don't hate it. Hate's a very strong word. I don't watch the X Factor. I used to watch it. I used to enjoy it. But not anymore. I have much better things to do with my time. Anyway, Jesus. I am so tired. I got very little sleep last night. Because I was up deliberating all night long, thinking about what match from this trilogy deserves to go on my list of my top 10 favourite miscellaneous independent Japanese wrestling matches of 2017. Now, of course, I'm being silly. That's not why I was losing sleep. I just couldn't get to sleep. My issue was, I always like to just kind of include one of the same sort of match in a top 10 list. I've talked about this before. So what do? Do I pick one of these matches between Omega and Okada, or do I put all three in? Which kind of seems unfair, because all three of these matches are pretty much very close to 5-star matches. And I gave you my rant, I think. I've been filming quite a lot of videos recently. Yeah, if I was to put all three of these matches on a top 10 list of best matches of the year, at the end of the year, 2017, of course we still have a few months, 2.5 months left. Some more 5-star matches could be produced, but we don't know yet. And we know that these three matches definitely deserve to be on that top 10 list. G1 Climax match, which I said when I first watched the G1 match, after watching the three matches, I said that the G1 match was my favourite out of the trilogy just because it was the shortest and it was the most dramatic and things like that. But then after watching this trilogy back again and talking about it and kind of putting all my thoughts into the one sort of kind of like dough, it makes more sense for me and my tastes in wrestling for the Wrestle Kingdom match, the very first one they had, to be my favourite. This whole thing of me watching these matches back were literally to see if my opinion had changed when I watched them all very, in a close time frame between each other. Which is a shift because they're long matches and they're emotionally draining matches, especially the first one. Oh my god. And there's another point. There's another perfect example of why the Wrestle Kingdom match should be at the top of my list. The effort by Kenny and Kazuchika, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, from Omega and Okada, I feel bad to the participants for not putting them on the list. You just made the list! Yeah, the purpose of this was literally just to see if my opinion had changed, and I don't know. I think in terms of match quality and rewatchable factor, the G1 match is definitely going to be the winner. However, in terms of what was the best one, what told the best story, that changes it as well, doesn't it? Because the story in the second one was Okada's knee, and then the story in the third one was his neck. But then again, the first one has the big sort of WrestleMania style feel and the big fight feel and the spectacle of the Tokyo Dome. It's a toughie. We're in a bit of a pickle here. Oh God, I don't know. I think in terms of my tastes, Wrestle Kingdom's got to be at the top of the list because it's the first one, it's the biggest one, and there could be a fourth one. You know what I mean? There could be. Okada's won one, Omega's won one. They've drawn, so a fourth one is in order. And I wouldn't complain. I don't think anyone would complain if the fourth one takes place at the Tokyo Dome in 2018. But what an incredible trilogy. Is it the greatest wrestling trilogy ever? Don't be so feckin' ridiculous. No, it's not. But it's one of the best. Of course it is. Yeah, it's a brilliant trilogy. If you're just a casual wrestling fan, or if you're the biggest wrestling fan in the world, and you've not seen these matches, you owe it to yourself as a wrestling fan just to have another understanding of what wrestling can be and what pacing can be and how important pacing is in a wrestling match. There's matches before this, like the Tanahashi and Okada match from some previous Wrestle Kingdoms, and the AJ Styles and Nakamura kind of stuff from New Japan opened, especially a new generation of wrestling fans like myself and like many people who I talk to regularly about wrestling, to New Japan and to Japanese wrestling. I've known about Japanese wrestling for a long time, but I haven't really made that effort to go out and watch it. These past few years I have, because of these people. And this is another example, because there's people who are maybe a little bit younger than me, or who have been a wrestling fan a little bit less than I have, who are going to watch these Omega Okada matches and just be like, holy shit, this is why I watch wrestling. And that's beautiful, isn't it? That's the beauty, and that's why we watch, and that's why we love the sport of professional wrestling. It's because of matches and trilogies like this. So Omega and Okada, you are two very special human beings. Special shout out to Kenny Omega for just being awesome at everything. Omega Okada, amazing stuff. And there you go. Rewatching Omega Okada, the trilogy of 2017. Good luck to the boys. I wonder if they'll ever get signed by WWE. I don't know. They've got Itami and they've got Asuka and they've got Nakamura, and I don't want to be racist, but WWE can be quite racist sometimes. We've got enough Japanese wrestlers. You'd be silly not to sign, Okada or Tanahashi or Ishii or Naito and these just incredible wrestlers. But then Kenny Omega, will he get the AJ Styles treatment and just be allowed to be the best in the world? Or will he suffer, We don't know. Hopefully someday we'll see them in WWE, because I think every great wrestler like that deserves that shot in WWE to be exposed to that amount of people at some point in their career. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for coming on this journey with me, rewatching the Omega and Okada trilogy. You can follow me on Twitter at CM42TV, and you can subscribe and review and listen and share my podcast if you would be so kind. The Good Bit podcast, the Young Actors podcast about movies and wrestling. Just a selection of so enthusiastic and energetic and passionate young actors in the world today, talking about their favourite movies and are wrestling fans of our group of actors. Talk about wrestling, it's a beautiful thing. So you can get that on Twitter as well, at The Good Bit Pod, iTunes, The Good Bit Podcast. There's stuff here on YouTube, Facebook, facebook.com/The Good Bit Podcast. There's so much on there. So check it out if you want, and share it if you can. That'd be great. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm CM42TV. I'm Chris Moffat. God damn it! Thanks for watching. Peace!